Hey group leaders, Pastor Luke here, and super excited as we continue to take next steps on this journey to become the best group leader that you can be. And today we're going to be talking about group dynamics. One of the biggest things that you're going to do when it comes to setting the culture of your group is identifying the things that you allow in your group. But even more so than that, the way you're going to decide if you're going to allow things is really about putting some guardrails up on what it is you're going to celebrate and what it is that you're going to correct. And one of the biggest ways that you can help manage those group dynamics is by communicating ahead of time of what people should expect throughout the time of your meeting. You can write that on the whiteboard, you can put that in the notes for you, or you can just tell people ahead of time, hey, this is what group's gonna look like tonight. We're going to do X, Y, Z. As you do that, you're going to make sure that you're celebrating the things that people are doing. You're almost gonna be a referee even when it comes to that discussion time, and to be able to keep people on track, because your group is trusting in you that you're going to bring about those desired outcomes that they have signed up for to take next steps in the area around the content that your group is studying for that session. And so it's your job to help them stay focused on that. And yeah, every now and then people are going to have some sidetracks and so forth, but it's your job to be the referee to keep people in bounds around what it is that you're doing. Another thing to consider about your group dynamics is what are the types of things that people talk about in your group. I once had a gentleman in my group where afterwards he was reflecting and said, man, I just often don't see groups of men open up and talk about what's really going on in their lives and how they can help each other to be able to do that. And that's something that we built in our group over time with the relationships there and the way that we affirmed and followed up and encouraged conversation. The questions that we chose to ask to help pull those types of things out. And then that the guys in the group knew that they had an opportunity to respond to one another and to love on and to share around that. And that's something that you're able to do as well. But the way that you affirm responses that people are giving is going to help encourage them to continue to share the same thing. Now, when somebody goes out of bounds on that, again, you, like the referee, are going to let them know, hey, let's talk more about that later. We've got time planned after the group where you guys can continue to discuss this type of thing, but we're going to stay on track and head back this direction. And as you do that, people are so going to respect that. The group is going to be so thankful that you do that. They're really trusting you to help keep them on track there. And one of the biggest things that you're able to do when it comes to group dynamics is identify that you are not the only person who is going to be helping the people in your group grow. Now, you might be the shepherd who's helping lead the flock as a component of that. However, all the responsibility doesn't fall on you when it comes to the follow-up of the people in there. And so really want to encourage you to employ what we call 3 deep leadership, where you're going to be investing in some assistant leaders with you, and that by investing in them and helping them identify some next steps for others in your group to take, that you're going to be able to do more by you yourself actually doing less, because you're going to be able to go deeper with few people. And that's what we would like to see happen, is more people going deeper, taking next steps. We're just limited on our time to be able to do that. And so instead, let's give those assistant leaders more of our time and just a few people from our group, because the honesty of it is we can only invest so much time in so many people. But the more that we do that, the more we can seek to multiply that, and they are able to come alongside us to do that. And so you can really successfully do this by pulling some time at the end of your group and communicate it at the front hand that, hey, group's going to end at this time, and then we're going to meet with some of the leaders. You guys are welcome to join us if you have some things that you want to help us grow in, as well as for you to grow and to become a leader one day yourself. But we're going to discuss what happened and talk about what's going to be next for our group. And during that time, you celebrate what happened. You go over some of the things that maybe you allowed to see how it would play out. You certainly revisit, hey, these are the areas that we had to correct some things with some growth conversations, but then also identify who they need to be following up with that week. And so those are some of the biggest things that we're going to explore in this session as you think about your culture and really exploring what a group dynamic is going to look like for me as a group leader.